Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a gold soldier player. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that really does help me out quite a bit. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, all sorts of cool stuff like that. Okay, so we're opening here, won the high ground, fine. You won't need that rocket back. A little slow on the pivot. I hope you dodge his rocket. Good. So you should immediately recognize that's a widow. Please immediately move. No. No, we don't challenge the widow, especially not at that distance. You have fall off at that distance. I promise. Do not give her time to take another shot. Yes, she's probably going to shoot at Shafera before you, but you do not give her time to take another shot. You close this angle. Okay, let's go back through this. Your team started pretty far back. You're poking the shield that's available. You're pivoting. Second rocket can't hit you. You're paying attention. Still can't. Now that you see the widow, she's no longer behind the flag, cloth, poster, whatever. You should immediately close this. No, we should not spend time to. We should not spend time to send a helix at her, and we should not be relining our crosshairs up to fire. This is to close the angle. There's this, and I don't really like you running away here. I understand why you're trying to do it, but she actually had this thing in the way, and she's got another fair to deal with. She doesn't want to descend to get an angle on you down here. She wants to stay high because the height battle actually matters between the Pharaohs. You were better off under here than you were going this way. That actually gave her a cleaner line of sight. It put this thing less in the way, but that's okay. And it didn't really make it easier for your Anna to heal you. Your Anna is using a rifle. Yeah. Make sure you're keeping your eyes in the sky. Like, you can poke at the shield, but make sure you've got checks up top. I don't like this. Why are we here? Ew. You can't expect Sigma shields to stay up like that. Like, you can't just expect them to stay up, so I really don't like you being here. You've made it harder that Widow can potentially do work. You can't immediately close this sight line on a Widow. You don't have this available. You don't have this available. You can't get over here. Like, this always needed to be I'm poking from right here. I'm backing up a little further, and I'm poking at the Farah, etc. type thing to get that angle. Like, this might feel like, oh no, I'm perfectly close to cover. You're not. That's a Widow. You're just not. Yeah, it's gold. They're probably not going to be great shots, but it's a habit that you just have to fix now.
Get over here and heal up.
Drive her back. Stay right. Stay right. You're looking to drive her back and then go take this high ground so that you can actually fight her. Because this is clearly moving on where this fight is happening. Okay, we got the Mercy. Don't challenge the Widow. Don't do it. Why are you Okay, now leave. Please don't be here. Please don't be here. You're letting the Widow... Okay, now that the Widow's actually tied, like actually tied by your Farah, clearly shooting at your Farah, looking at your Farah, now you can take shots at her and should be. I'd actually rather you take high ground here than keep shooting at that Rhine. You can't take this high ground anymore. You don't have time to take this high ground anymore. Your options are to go tuck in here and, potentially take this high ground and late peek to jump on a Widow with like a Helix rocket, etc. that shows up here, or to punish a Farah if the Widow, doesn't have a sightline on you, or your option is to go back and take this high ground. You can't get to this high ground now. You took too long. No, there's a Widow. There's a Widowmaker. The amount of disrespect. I like the high ground. Why do you think you can challenge this? Why? You should be in spawn room right now. Like, this is... you are 1v3ing. It is you versus the 3 of these guys. Like, your team can't really contribute. Like, okay, they contribute a little on the Widow, so I lied. They don't really contribute on the Pharah Mercy. Ugh. This is not the right time to open this angle. You open when your team is threatening. And you don't challenge Widows unless you are very clear that they should be looking at someone else like your Pharah that's diving them. I mean, technically, this was good, but where's the pressing of the X button? Smaller words? Smaller words. Am I talking in big words? I do that sometimes. I guess I can simplify it.
My ultimate double threat.
Good.
Tactical necessity. I've got you in my sights.
That wasn't really necessary. Like, yeah, that Widow, she was low health. Continuing to take that fight was fine. I don't have an issue. I don't really think... I know we didn't need this visor. Widow scary, no fight Widow. There you go. Widow bad. And again, this time I was fine with it because you had the lead on her before she was scoped in, before she had an angle she wanted, etc.
Powered up.
Justice reigns from above. Helden sterben nicht.
Okay. We're taking our high ground. We're cruising. We're cruising. Good. Now we're going to deny the Mercy. Okay, she's gone. Shoot at the Rhine.
Helden sterben nicht.
I get what you want, but
Schutzengel ist da.
yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, you Helixed her after she was healing. Your Helix has to be a finish against the Valk because it's very likely she's going to heal back up if you don't get the finish, but I can forgive it. You got Valked. It happens. Maybe all that no-fight Widow should have been no-fight Valking Mercy. I kid. I kid.
Sic transit Gloria. What is that melody?
Please don't do this. Please don't. Okay.
Good choice.
See, I knew that you couldn't actually win this fight, and because that's why I was saying please don't do this, what I wanted you to do was instead of just joining there and being useless in a time when your team could not win the fight, was to go over here. Go like this, and then you have the high ground again. You also have a surprise angle to delete their Mercy from, and hey, their Widow doesn't have the angle. Their Widow's gone Ashe, I know. But like, this is what you wanted to do, and now you're stuck here, and it's depressing. This is just sad, because now you get caught in shatters, you shouldn't be here. Like, you don't get shattered if you're on the high ground. Oh well.
Sic transit Gloria.
High ground, high ground. It's to your left. It's to your... Okay, fine. Go right, go right. Go up to the high ground. High ground. This is not a place. This is not a place. What are you doing? What? What? It's okay, guys. If they shoot at me, I'll have to respawn. So long to get to there. Incredibly long to try to get to there. This isn't good enough cover. Why on earth did you leave your perfectly good cover back here? Not to go here, which wouldn't have been great. Not to go here, which would have been okay. Not to go here, which would have been great. Not to go here, which would have been pretty good. But to go here. What seems okay with this? So disappointing. So disappointing. And again, their team is here. Their whole team is, here, ready to do shenanigans, etc. Yes, hey, their fair is eliminated, etc. But you don't even want this yet. Like, if you do want this, you want it from up here, where you can punish them. You want it from here, where you can punish them. You want it where you can close angles. Oh, but hey, I'll just be unhappy.
Mirror, get stabilized. My ultimate is almost ready.
It's kind of hard to take down that fair from here, isn't it? She has aerial cover against you. She's far away. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Oh, and look, their Ashe has an angle. I wonder if their Ashe could take that angle if you were standing right here and could laugh at her when she tried. I bet she couldn't. I bet she couldn't. I bet you'd also be closer to this Mercy or this Fair if you wanted to shoot at them, and you could take the sky away from them. Yes, that was a Firefly reference. Okay.
Good choice.
Heroes never die.
We're just playing core. We're just playing core. Oh, I wonder how that Fair got in here. Let's take a look. If you're here, it would be hard for this Fair to get in. You see how this is getting scary? They've got this angle here. They've got this angle here. They've got this angle here. Like, they have pretty good work here. They get to be scary. They took this from you. They didn't have to. It would have been really hard if you'd been here or even here for them to come in like this. This would have been very hard. Yes, they still might have been able to brute force you out because they have a pharmacy. That might have happened, but it would have been really hard, especially with your own pharmacy in play. Okay.
I'm not a young man anymore.
Excuse me? What are we doing? This is where your Fair spawned. Do we think we can hold this in some way? Our Fair just spawned back here. Why do we think that we can hold this? Are they missing people? I don't know. This spawn room looks pretty empty to me. This looks like a full team. I don't think we can hold this, man. I don't.
My ultimate is ready.
Good thing they're bad. They're grouping for you. They should already be going, hey, we're challenging you through here with our Pharah. Hey, our Ashe is coming up here, etc. But they're not taking angles, so it's going to work.
Good choice. I've got you in my sights. I could do this. I'm on fire.
We'll put it in the W column. I'm good with it. That was actually a good sprint. Please don't get hit by this. You're not going to stay here. You are going to pull back to here, and you're going to like control this angle while your pharmacy is here, and then you're going to have like a Sigma down here, and maybe a Zarya here, and it's going to be great. It's going to. Are we gonna take high ground? Okay, I like it. What? But why? Just go here. If you're like, hey, that's a pocket, I don't like it, you just go here. Or at the very least, you play here, so you at least have a little bit of crossfire. Like, there's no need to jump and rejoin your team here. Look at how unthreatening you guys are. Our damage is going to come from this direction. That's all we can do. It's all we can do. How much more scary are you if your damage comes from here, from here, which you can actually do because you have sprint. That's a spot that you can take and safely retreat from if you need to, and from up here. And you could even, tick a Zarya up here if you wanted. Pharmacy up here, Zarya here, you here. Sigma doing really here to threaten damage. Like, look how beautiful that could be. Now, you can't control all of these things. You're only one player. But that one player can be here, or they can be here, where they can poke in, etc., hard, all that stuff, and still get out in plenty of time if they get pushed. It would be pretty great. Ooh, I think you guys are going to win. Almost. We can micro it. We don't have to, but we can. Drop a healing station. Shots into the wall. Those aren't great. Those aren't great. Those aren't great. Okay, so we found some tracking issues. Okay, so here we are. Slow this down to F speed to exaggerate things. I like this. The reason this is strong is your fair is threatening from one place, you're threatening from another, they're looking at your fair, so you just get to shoot them in the side of the head. It's wonderful. And if they turn to deal with you, your pharmacy has more power into them. Your pharmacy leaves a little, and a little bit early. You haven't done quite enough work yet for her to have left, which is, unfortunate, but you have to deal with it. You hit your rocket, not on the target we're going to get, but you hit your rocket. We'll say that forces her to leave, and you close the angle on her and go for a reload. I'm good so far. You drop the healing station. You drop the healing station before you absolutely need it, but while you're missing some health. Still good, and you're still at an angle where the Ashe can't get you. I like it. Yes, Blah, they could have gone left too, though I'd have preferred like the Zarya on the left there or something, or the Sigma on the left rather than the Soldier. Okay. This is a pretty big miss. So we're just gonna hit a flick to go back, right? We're not gonna drag it back, we're gonna hit a flick to go back, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just showing this to you in slow motion to exaggerate it. Yes, I can help you fix it, but I wanted it to be very obvious. This is fine. Your tracking is reasonable here. You're never that far away from your target. Even though you're missing some of these shots, you're never that far away from your target. You're trying. I'm good with it. No problems. Here's where things get in trouble. This is a bigger target, and it's clear you're struggling with it when it's close to you. It's clear you don't like targets that are this close to you. So that's something that we can work on. We go like this. We're shooting a wall. I don't want us shooting when the only thing we can be hitting in is a wall. We want better trigger discipline than that, where we go, hey, if it's obvious that I'm shooting at a wall, I should not be shooting at the wall. I should not be spending my ammo. I do have a limited amount of ammo here. We do stop eventually, and we stop at a reasonably quick pace, so I'm good with it. This is okay. You're trying to drag this back here pretty reasonably, but this is far and you've clearly overshot. You've clearly overshot this, so we need to go, okay, we need to bring this back. And there's a couple things that we can do with this. We can better correct when we're dragging versus when we're flicking, or we can go, hey, we struggle when things are this close to us, which may mean that we need to play with our sensitivity a little bit to make it so that it's easier to deal with targets that are closer to us. Shooting at something further away versus shooting at something closer, you have to move the crosshair different amounts. You have to move the crosshair further sometimes when you have to move the crosshair further when targets are close to you, so it can feel like you want a tighter sensitivity, etc. And you need to find something that works for both ranges for you. But this right here could also be fixed with how we think about our aiming. So this is drifted just far enough right now that it should be a flick. So this should be a take our finger off the left click and go, not, let me drag it back to the Zarya. We don't want to do that, but instead I flick. And if I flick too far, that's fine. If I go, hey, I flicked and I flicked too far and it went to here, now I can with tracking bring it back. Flick, bring it back. That's what we want to do. We don't want to go tracking to try and get there when we're this far off our target. We've gotten too far. So here we are. Maybe these are flicks. Maybe these are flicks for you. They're a little on the slow side for flicks, but maybe they are flicks. Maybe that's not normal tracking. In that case, you are over flicking, and it's just something that you need to get more comfortable with what the flick distance is. And what I'd recommend is maybe you're doing warm-up, maybe you're doing aim training, etc. I recommend you specifically practice fighting things at this distance. You can go up against, you can come up with, you can go find practice stuff, you can go do it, you can go say, hey, I'm going to play a little bit of Tracer to get a feel for what it's like when characters are close to me in deathmatch or whatever. Or you could even go into the training room and go up against one of the moving bots and just try to fight it at close range and intentionally do, hey, I have to do a 30-degree turn to get my angle on this. Hey, I have to do a 60-degree turn to get my angle on this. Hey, I have to do an X turn to get my angle on this. It's clear that you're struggling at this range specifically, so we want you to go try to train this distance specifically. And again, we can try and hit a flick. If you are hitting flicks, you're going too far with your flicks, and they need to be a little bit less, or they need to be a little more precise, and then you drag back. If this is tracking, because again, it's a little hard for me to tell with how you're aiming, maybe this is your flick, it's just a little slow. If this is tracking, it shouldn't be once you get this far, and it should turn into a flick. Yeah, your movement is all kind of the same speed there. That's all tracking. Nice, Tsunami!
No rest for the weary. Yes. My tactical visor is charging.
It can be nice that he's pretty darn versatile. Feels playable in a lot of situations.
Good choice.
You did not need to get caught in that. I promise you could have stayed out of that. I promise.
Heroes never die.
Get stabilized.
Do you see the ash? Do you? Do you? Do you? You do.
I've got you in my sights.
Why though? Okay. Like, I don't think you need auto aim. You have the jump on her, but whatever. That's probably the right play angle.
Target-rich environment.
You kind of ran harder than you needed to here. Like, you can get that. You didn't need to run that hard. Running up here was plenty. He can't get at you, so you turn and shoot, and then you kite a little more with sprint and turn and shoot, etc. You don't need to run as far as you did. The Moira's not scared of you. She's not going to burst you down. not going to be able to stay here, but you now are in a can I get your soldier out? Do you even see your mercy? Do you see your mercy? Yeah, I'm not convinced that you saw your mercy was stuck. This could have been a sprint up here to get her type thing, like sprint for just a moment to get her and then try to hightail it out there for both of you. Because that was not an okay place to be.
Justice reigns from above.
No rest for the weary.
60 seconds remaining.
I'm good with the heal station. What is this reload? What is this? You have half your clip left, and there's a fair that you need to be shooting at. What are you doing? Why? This is silly. No. Your Sigma made it very clear that this was where they were peeking from. So you finish sprinting this way and shoot from over here, and it's wonderful because they're all looking at your Sigma, and you get to go, oh, don't mind if I mow you down. Don't mind if I mow you down. Don't mind if I mow you down. Oh, now you're looking at me? I'll go back behind here, and at least I relieved a bunch of pressure off my Sigma. Let Sigma anchor rather than running through the cart yourself, but that's okay.
30 seconds. Score 0.
Yeah, I suspect this guy's sensitivity is a little bit too high.
Initiating match.
I generally try not to get too far into that, but again, it has to be something where you can aim at stuff both at long and close range, and it looks like you're struggling when stuff gets to close range there.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in
Feeling
30
spry.
seconds.
On. I'm going to own all these noobs.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort the payload. This is my will.
To change sensitivity? I mean, that's not too hard. You just go into... I mean, it's... Okay, that's fine. We're not going to show how to change sensitivity. That's very easy.
Everyone heal up.
We're just going to shoot at the Rhine from here, as opposed to the Mercy that's just been hanging in the air all that time. There's a pharmacy. We have 20 shots in our clip, by the way. I don't know what this is. 20 shots in our clip. No reason to be doing this. Oh, that was our heal station. Okay, no.
Everyone heal up.
It was the wrong thing in your hand. Okay, that was shots at the Rhine. That could have been at the Mercy, but we'll live. That's kind of scary. Where's your cover? It's not the cart anymore. It's not your teammate. It's over here. Maybe we should sprint over here. We're not in this anymore. Go get cover. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why would you continue to stand there? You have sprint. It's real easy for you to go to cover.
Knock me down and I'll keep getting back up.
And your face aim is different. Oh, doesn't know how to aim in close quarters combat. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. It is a little different, but you literally should go practice the skill. Like you can literally go into you can go into the game mode specifically for that, where hey, everyone's getting eliminations, you're only gone for 2 seconds, and you can play soldier and try to force a close range, or you can just try to play tracer, not because you're trying to play tracer, but because you're trying to practice close range aim, get up in people's faces, which is something tracer can do, and then track your targets, etc. And oh hey, what do you know, the aim skill will transfer.
Get in there.
Okay, I'm sort of done with this push, so can we just go over here and break them open now? Can we please do that? I'd be so cool if we did that. When your team stalls out like that, that is your play for how you get things done. You go, hey, we're not making any progress, we're sort of getting stalled out. You go, okay, I am going to take the flank with my sprint to go shoot them in the back, etc. Oh, I think I just explained that, Tsunami. It's not perfect. It's not necessarily what I would start doing. I would start to see, for the first 30 seconds, 45 seconds, see if your tanks can force it up past, etc., to get it past this bridge. But if they can't, you've got to peel it open from the side. Yes, there's some risk in that. The pharmacy could potentially follow you. You could get booped off the bridge, etc. But if you're getting stuck, that's what you do.
No rest for the weary.
Why are we shooting at the Rhine Shield rather than the Mercy? Now you can't necessarily see the Mercy, but you can see the Pharah. You were so close. You were so close to going this way. McCree saw you break off. Do you see the hand? The hand is the giveaway. You're doomed.
Now, hold on. That'll learn you.
Heroes never die. The battle continues.
You'll get him if you do it now.
Oh, excuse.
You win. You still win. Oh boy.
Rains from above.
You don't want to go to war with me.
Why would you? Do you feel this is unwinnable? Okay. Okay. Snake, snake, snake. Snake, snake, snake. Snake, snake, snake. Why would you pull their attention to you? Why would you pull their attention to you to shoot at a Valking Mercy? You're not going to get that elimination. That elimination is very hard to get, and now, in a vulnerable spot, you've pulled extra eyeballs to you. This is weird. While your team can't do anything.
Injuries surrender to my will.
Is that melody?
Take cover.
Oh boy.
I've got you in my
No!
sights.
No! Why? Why? We're up 2. And we still have Coalescence going. Why would we spend this? No. No. If we were going to spend this, we would have come out here to do it. But we shouldn't even spend it. There's just not a good enough reason. Please go take
man
high
on a
ground.
mission.
Please,
Stay
please,
out of my
please,
way.
please, please. Yeah, we're going to be person number 5 on the cart instead of taking high ground. Then when they start shooting at your team, you can plant up here and shoot at them. You can also go peek over here to give your Mercy access to this high ground if she wants it, which she will thank you for. It's pretty cool.
60 seconds.
Thank you, Blah. Thank you.
Gale the Mahos. Get into position.
Yeah. I disarm mines by punching them with the butt of my gun, too. That seems like a safe thing to do.
My tactical fire.
I'm not actually worried about it. I just think it's funny.
Everyone, heal up.
The payload moves towards our desired.
For the Crusaders!
No, we do not jump down. We transition over to here. That's what we do.
My ultimate is charging.
We didn't need to do this whole fight here, by the way. We could have very easily transitioned to here, but hey. He was on the high ground. He gets points. I agree.
I'm on fire. You'd be wise.
Good choice.
What are we doing? Are we going left? Are we going left?
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Wait, for not transitioning wrong? Your double negative confuses me. Well, it's an angle. You think you're Tracer, but it's an angle. Low on the swap to Rhine there, but okay. Hold this. Hold this spot right here. Nope. Nope. I want you on the left side. I do. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want you just fishing with Helix rockets, but I'll live. If you go down, I'm going to be upset. I'm upset.
Get into position.
You've missed your window to be useful. Mercy's going to give you another one, but you've missed your window to transition to the better spot.
I've got you in my sights.
Did we just pull out our tac visor while Pharaoh was barraging? She's a target that stands still, and what you want to do is eliminate her. There's zero, and I mean zero reason you want a tac visor for this. It takes time to activate your tac visor, and it takes away your ability to hit headshots on this target that is rooted in place. Rooted is a weird word for a flying target, but rooted is still the term I'm going to use, in place. Why? Why? A, we're likely to have lost this fight because Barrage came out on top of us and we didn't immediately, cancel it, matrix it, whatever. So we probably don't want to throw ults into a lost fight. B, ulting slows us down in our reaction. C, our ult is just worse than shooting at her. Why? Yay, we got eliminations that didn't matter and were slower than we would have gotten otherwise.
The war goes on.
Delete work was installed.
I cast this forth.
Okay, so say that Pharah boops him off high ground during a team fight and there is no fast way to get up there. Do you just give it up or work your way back up? It depends. If he gets booped off, that might be fine. He might have to work from the low ground. That just might be reality. Like, that is a thing that happens. Same thing could happen to, like, a Zarya. If you're a Zarya and you're on high ground and a Lucio boops you off high ground, that's annoying. But you're probably not going to spend a bunch of time to go retake high ground. Soldier has a little more ability to do that because sprint, but it does matter on the ebb and flow of the fight, how the fight is going, for whether he's going to do that. How far the transition is, how the fight is going, etc. Yes, blah, but it's not a good enough reason. Yes, you do get faster reloads, I know, but that's not a good enough reason.
Not yet. An expedient solution. Surrender to my will. Preparing the damage.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Angles would be wonderful. We did it, guys!
Yes.
Please don't run it up mid. Please control a second lane. This lane looks wonderful. This lane looks just swell too. Bad arrow. But one arrow. You see how this is one arrow? Your team should have 3 arrows right now. They should. You can't make your team have 3 arrows. You can make your team have 2 arrows for directions that damage is coming from. That's a thing you can do. Very easy for your Mercy to choose to go, hey, I'm standing here, I'll boost you, I can still get to you, etc. Very easy for you to self-sustain. You have a health kit. That's why you have the health kit. I know it looks like it's to heal your team, etc. If you can heal your team with it occasionally, that's fine. But mostly it's so you can sustain on your angles with less support. But on this angle, you could even get some support. So do that. Please. Thank you. The reason I harp on angles so hard is because if you look at this Reinhardt, your team can't really hit this Reinhardt. There's natural cover in the way. There's not natural cover in the way if you're here. No one else can shoot you. You can shoot the Reinhardt, and the Reinhardt can't shoot back. He's a close range hero. So you start costing him health or shield earlier if you're here. You also can turn and get an angle on the Mei. If you don't like the angle on the Mei, you can close it. Angle on Mei, no angle on Mei. Shooting at Rein at a time when your team cannot shoot at the Rein. Angles compromise cover. Get angles. You do get shattered. Oh, you don't.
冻住，不许走！
Fields down.
You almost got shattered. You could not get blizzarded if you were hurt here, and you could keep some of these guys back. If you were applying pressure to this Moira couldn't really push in to do what she wants during this blizzard. You might have been able to force this Zarya back a little, etc., and make their follow-up worse on this ult. That is better than dropping a healing station in the middle of this ult, I promise.
I've got you in my sights. Tag 'em in back. Feeling spry. Come here, get stabilized.
You really don't need to be on cart, you know that, right? Like, you can stand back here and just kind of go, hey, we have plenty of people on cart. I can shoot at them from here. It's fine. We're not about to run out of time. Or you could still be over here on this angle that you could have come in the first place and be different than your team and be able to see all these people, and they can't use the cart the same way to hide from you and your team. Like, I promise your Sigma has the cart under control.
60 seconds remaining.
Oh, are we accidentally on an angle? Did the Junkrat buff us? Why would you move? The Mercy's right there. Ah, the Bastion, fine. You opened that angle too far. Transition back for the Bastion. Close the angle. Visor.
You in my sights.
Respect the Junkrat. Okay.
Knock me down and I'll keep getting back up.
10 seconds remaining.
This is strength.
I wonder if we can lose this slow-mo. No, we can't. Now you do have to run to the card, which sucks, but hey. Okay. So, here's how this works. Angles are really, really powerful, and you're caught in these unidirectional pushes way too much. You got caught in it here, you got caught in it here, though it was a little better because at least you had high ground. You got caught in it for a good minute here. You got to find ways on defense. You just stood behind your team and, shot through your Sigma shield. You pushed through here, you just stood with your team and shot, etc. If you want to do that, you pick a different hero. I recommend McCree. It's not perfect. McCree also likes angles when he can get them, but he's expected to get them a lot less often. Soldier has Sprint, and he has Healing Station. Sprint is for taking the angles, and Healing Station is for sustaining the angles. It's what the kit is built for, and angles are really powerful. It is much harder to deal with a team that can shoot you from this direction or this direction than it is a team that is just shooting you from one direction when you're set up here, and here, and here, and here. And those aren't huge angles, but they're more than what the team pushing in has. So if you get stuck here, you go around and go, hey, I'm going to challenge this angle, and it's great. And if I get in trouble, I can sprint back so I'm not in too much trouble, much less so than, say, a McCree or a Hanzo. And if I'm holding this, I'm trying to work here. You did a little bit of trying to use this on first defense once the fair became a thing, and I appreciated that. But I wanted you to continue to use this high ground. I know it's scary. I know it's annoying to fight the fair. You still want to. The high ground brings you closer to her, which does mean you don't have to worry about the fall off. It is worth it, I promise. Second point, this is the king. This strip right here is your king of high ground. This is everything. You could have stopped the Ashe from coming in. You could have come here. You could have dropped behind them and mowed them down if you wanted. That's how that works, and it's pretty great. On your offensive push, same thing. I appreciate that she took this, but she can deepen it to better angles, to better stuff, and then you get to push over here, and you just win. We talked about this plenty. Similar thing. You can go here. You can peek out here and be able to sprint back. You can do the same thing on offense. You can sprint up here, peek, sprint back, etc. That's what you're looking to do. You want to take those angles. You just want to time the peaking of those angles at times when your team is threatening the other team, and you will be golden. Please stop standing with your team like a turret. You are not a Bastion. You are not a McCree. You are a Soldier 76. Please take your angles. That's going to be the first thing. I really want you to work on that. The other thing I want you to work on is I want you to specifically train your close range aim. I specifically want you to train that. I don't care if you go in and practice it in, some sort of workshop, if you go into the training room and just practice flicking at close ranges onto bots, even if they're bots that are standing still, and then you graduate to bots that are moving or what. I really don't care, but you need to specifically go try to train your close range aim. That's what I want you to do. So do those two things. That's going to help you quite a bit. Okay, do I have any questions? I like playing King of the Cart. Yes. We don't need to cover the cart. We gave him two plenty big things to work on. Okay, I think that's going to cover it. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that really does help me out quite a bit. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what my rates look like, see what sort of events, promos, anything like that we have coming up. All sorts of good stuff. And I think that's going to do it for now. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.